So I'm just thinking that might take a little bit more work than just on the AGM sort of looking around and staring hard at people. So I'm not quite sure what this.
Well, the other thing is that nominations, this is the first one we've run under the new constitution, but nominations have got to be in before the AGM. Sorry, I should have mentioned this earlier. Nominations got to be in and people have got to have agreed in writing to their nominations, to their nomination. So I'll have to get David to put out a email calling for nominations, and then those persons nominated will have to accept nomination.
I guess maybe a committee meeting where to work out a table, there might be a bit of a form email to a set list of people.
Yes.
So from my experience in the editor's role, there doesn't have to be a lot of writing in it. In fact, I think the editor can get by with no writing. And that's essentially because a lot of people that write their articles write good stuff anyway. Or alternatively, if the stuff's a bit kind of edgy, we still try to get their voice into the magazine. So we don't try to, and I don't think there's any expectation that the editor is writing lots of stuff, especially as we've backed off things like The Last Word and other things the editor used to write. In my experience, the main thing the editor does, or when you're on the other end, when you're the publisher, is basically talk to club editors and say, hey, we haven't heard from you for a while, what's up? And then inevitably, typically people are pretty willing to put through a couple of photographs, or they've got an article hiding away that they've been working on. I don't know if there's really much more, but it's an essential part. You need that front end to get the content coming through to get it to publication. So there's much more that you would.
It's sort of, the magazine's only success, the club is only as successful as the magazine, and the magazine is only as successful as the members contribute. There's no outside thing, it's just what the club can do. And so the quest for looking for an editor and the quest for looking for articles and contributions from members is sort of the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just wrapped up in the ethos of the club, that this is what we do. I always feel there's lights hiding under bushels around the place, around the membership. As I've said before, it's like, putting on a show, putting on a magazine. It's a creative exercise which has its own rewards. And the fellowship and the team that makes it work. It's a subset of the club membership. So the more we can extend that into with involvement of other club members, the more successful the whole process is. But we don't know a lot of the members very well in order to how to quite grab their arm and do the twist. So that's the editor task, and it may be someone who's a club member, but not immediately obvious to us here in the room.
You mean role? Yeah, I'm mistaken.
This one, for example.
Right, yeah. Maybe.
So I'll have the forms printed out and we'll get them to sign.
A whole list of nominations. We'll get 10 nominations for editor and sort it out on the club night, on the committee night.
Field support group?
No. They're suffering from lapse of time, spirit, and attendance, and organisation.
And cake.
Also by the coach. Other than that's going well.
Yeah.
Technical questions? Right side swap? Tool of the month? Oh, sorry, did I?
You can go first. Oh, you go first. Okay. So I don't know if you've ever been shopping, but
Not
have
bad.
you ever gone to buy a bag to put something in?
Not that one.
It says something about you, Richard.
So there's a tool in here which is really, really good. But I needed a bag or something to put in so I can just throw it places.
Were you worried about getting stolen?
That's no problem.
So, as you probably know, I'm a fully qualified automotive technician. That's what I call myself anyway. And when I was an apprentice, we had such things as tune scopes and things we could play with. And then modern cars came along with OBDs and you could put scan tools in and check all the runnings of the cars and stuff. But then, just recently, I've had a change in what I do.
Is that a small dog? Is that a small dog in there?
No, you stop talking. My wife wants a dog. Go away. Right?
Great idea.
But she's not you.
I keep parking cars under the trees. That's her problem. So anyway, I ran into a couple of issues where tuning cars with multiple guardrails without said things like vein element tune things and stuff like that. And I was on the Book of Faces one day and I saw this advert for this thing. Here, some of you may have seen it. It's a little diagnostic tool which runs a oxygen sensor and it gives you your AF and readings in there for lambda or your O2 sensor. And I thought, for the amount of money it was, I thought, it would be pretty good. So I bought it out of my own pocket, not the boss's pocket. And so it's mine, not his. And I sort of bought it with the thought of, if it works, it'll be mint. If it doesn't work well, it's just one of those things you put in the corner and don't use. But I have used it successfully about 4 times now. So that's your oxygen sensor. It's got this little doodacky head. You can see it's been used. So you whack it up the exhaust pipe and that has to go that way. So don't use it that way or that way. And you can tune the carburetors, get your oil mixture right. And I was amazed. I did a Triumph GT6, which had a 3.5 litre Rover V8 with twin pipes. And I tuned the carburetor on it because it had a 4-barrel on it. So I tuned each side with this on each side of the car. And it ran absolutely perfectly. The guy brought it back and he said to me, this car's never run so good. And the 16th of a turn on a mixture screw, this thing picked it up. And I got that car running between, because it's supposed to be 14.7 or something is the correct reading, but it was running between 15 and 13 on the scale, which I think is pretty bloody good. You couldn't do it by ear. I had to go, I thought, see what that's like. I mean, we shoot miles away. Even though you think it's running good, this thing proves just how far off your ear can be, or even the feel of the car. I did one car with a vacuum gauge, because I used to use vacuum gauges in setting the mixture screws, and this thing picked up that it was still not within cooey. So I thought what we could do tonight is a bit of we could stick it on that.
Where are you going to get power from?
It comes off top of a battery. Has it got a battery in it?
It's got a battery in it,
Yeah.
but that's not the catch. The catch is I have to take the side off the car to get the back.
Oh, no, we won't use it. But if anyone wants to have a look at it, it's really easy to set up. You just, the way it goes on the battery, hook it up into the exhaust, wait 4 minutes, and the thing is, and it's ready to go.
So a couple of questions.
Yes.
So were you tuning it at idle or?
Yeah, this is for idle mixture. You could probably use it on the road. So if you were doing jet settings and stuff,
Yeah.
you could do that.
Is it fast enough for like if you're on-road testing, but particularly like a turbo car when you're trying to
Oh, it
see
reacts
what
real quick.
AFR's doing under those load situations?
Yeah, it reacts real quick. Like I say, you go like that, and it changes on there straight away.
What sort of cost is it?
$700 and something.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought you said $700 and something dollars.
Yeah.
That's not that expensive.
It comes with the sensor. Yeah.
I think it's half the value of it.
Yeah.
Pay thousands of dollars for bigger machines.
Oh, yeah. So I thought it's saved me heaps of time doing jobs. The only things you can't use it on is 2-strokes and methanol cars, which is a bit of a kicker because I'm using a bit.
Yeah, because you're poisoning the sensor.
Yeah, because all the oils.
Yeah.
Presumably the bag was free, Richard.
This was the third bag.
Huh?
Yeah. First one was too small. Second one was too big and bulky and awkward. And this one's
Just right.
just right. And you can carry it down the street like a man. And no one looks at you.
Well, they do actually.
Carefully not look at you.
So, I mean, it's if you want to have a look. But I was really impressed with it.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you've got your own cars and then you're dicking with your carburetors all the time, then it'd be perfect. I mean, it's a bit of money to spend, but I think the rewards far outweigh what the car does run like without it.
What is a decent sort of wideband oxygen sensor in the gauge cost?
I'm not sure,
What
but
kind of
it's about
On brand or off brand?
Yeah,
But Subi one's
some of the
cool.
battery.
It's got
Subi one's
kept to this,
Yeah, I think it's the sensors.
So the isolator switch.
Something like that, just the sensors.
I get 12 volts from the isolator switch.
No, there's, on that car, there's no exposed terminals at all. Everything in there is insulated and insulated again. The only thing that you could get at the battery terminals, but
That's okay, we know you, we understand you
you
just
have
don't
to
want
take
to
the
be.
side of the car off.
Well, I mean, I can bring my car up and you can run off that battery if you want.
In particular, the battery isolator switch, I was very nervous about those great big copper terminals. Yeah, sticking out, just threatening to explode the entire car if it rolled onto it.
Any more?
Right, well, you can't compete with that.
You haven't got a bag.
No, exactly. Oh, hang on. It's a lot cheaper. Two things. I was rummaging in the cupboard a while ago, looking for a pen to write with. I found a whole of these pens, which I didn't realise actually brought. And I mentioned to my son that how wonderful they were, and he says, well, I will actually.
They're the nice, not long nib on the back.
Yes,
Yeah.
long steel nib. They are brilliant for marking inside bolt holes, drawing a very fine line across things, all the rest of it. And they last remarkably well. I've just used up one after about a year. So I bought some more Harry Express, about $3 for about 5 or something. But, yeah, really. And I've been using an old solar light to look at things, and I thought I've got to find a light to clip on things. And I was looking at them, hunting around. Went into Barnes, and the guy, he said, oh, I've got this one with a cord. Oh, you took me the cord out and the rest of it. Oh, well, a clip. Oh, yeah, magnet. Oh, well, that's going to work well on the fiberglass one. We come across this thing.
Wow.
Right,
Wow, okay.
$34.
Rechargeable?
Yep. USB rechargeable. Oh, it's even got a red one too. Yeah. that way inclined, hold that.
Good deal.
Yeah. I could not believe it.
So how much was that?
$34 at Bunnings.
What sort of battery life?
It's no longer 100%, it's 75%, and I've had it for 2 months.
You turned it on?
Sufficient.
So, I thought, well, we'd get half an hour out of that, but no, I've used it quite a few times, and the safe's only just gone out 75%. Oh, yeah, it's got a battery in there too. My other thing I've been using, every you pick it up and goes, boom, yeah, it doesn't say anything, but yeah, look at $34. Turn it on now, Dave. Just once, yeah.
Any more? No. General business. Any trophies that anybody's got, can they return them, please? And that is all the business for this evening until we close and,
Mystery card?
Well, this is the sound of a man who knows what it is.
Well, I'm wondering, is it a Helen Deany from Australia?
No, you're wrong.
Wrong, okay, no, I don't know.
Excellent. The only thing you had right there was the letter the country starts with. That narrows it down. Like the Albanian car industry is perhaps not that well known.
looks French with that.
I was going to say, it's like some sort of Alpine.
No.
When I was,
Okay, well, let's have a.
Right.
You can't get it to
It's fine. I can work this down. Right, the wedgie. It's cool, very good. I'll just stand here. Hang on, it's my stand.
4 minutes.
Yeah, afterwards. Right, so there's not many of us here and we're all close friends. So if you just want to interrupt or shout out questions or heckle, I know I won't be able to stop you anyway. So just feel free to heckle and shout out questions as I go along.
Why are you here? Why are you here?
Why am I here?
Yeah.
Well, it started in 1956, but much before that, my parents met. And, well, they fell in love. And then 1 month later, I was born. It's rather a long story.
And did they did fall out of love?
The widget. Anybody who calls it a cart or a buggy is immediately ejected from the room. I think it's about as small as a car can go and still be called a car. It's kind of I've got about 10 slides and then I'll kind of just wave my hands around the car. Right, okay. So the story kind of starts with the first car that I built, the RS60. And my intention was that I would also use that in kind of minor competition events. So that's why it's got a Motorsport New Zealand roll bar on it, although the backstays are missing from it in that photo. And that car has got an abundance of power. It just particularly, it goes as fast as anything I've ever driven. But as a competition car, which was one of my intended use, it kind of had 2 or 3 problems. The first problem was that the steering is Volkswagen steering, but really the steering is kind of dates back to the 50s, and it's just not fast enough to catch a car which wants to spin at the drop of a hat. The second problem was that roll bar just never really worked. Particularly, so the reasons the backstays aren't on it is the backstays come down through the hole in the car that you can see in the clamshell, then I can't lift the clamshell when the back stays are on. And the two back stays pinch the engine cover so I can't even get the engine cover off. So to get the car track ready, I've got to crawl underneath and underneath the bolts for the back stays. Just a pain in the ass. It just doesn't work. And the third problem is, after I'd invested so much time and energy getting that body built, the fact is that if you have a car in competition use, you've got to be prepared to wreck it. And that's because you're pushing the car to the limits, and also as a driver, I know I get the red mist over my eyes. I took it out once, I said, okay, I'm going to be calm. I spun it 2 times on the sighting lap. And that's because the brain goes as soon as the flag comes down. So something else was needed, and it had to be cheap, it had to be fixable, it had to be fun, it had to fit on a garden trailer. I didn't want to lug around a big multi-wheel car trailer. I think the other things are kind of self-evident. And so I sought inspiration. I don't know, you guys know what this is? It's a Pelletov D4. That's probably on our California track. The Pelletov D4 has got an offset engine. You can see the driver's offset there. It runs a Suzuki Hayabusa, and it's actually 4-wheel drive, so it's got chain drive to the front and the rear. But actually, one of its design principles was it fits on a garden trailer. And I think it's quite a cool looking car. A bit short coupled maybe, but when you see them racing, they're really quite potent. But then that costs $1 gazillion and has lots of fine bodywork, which I didn't want to do. And then there's the other inspiration, and that is get the darn job done and have fun doing it, which I think I've just got a lot of time for the way Brian does things. And at its heart, that's actually a Pelletov D4. It's got an offset engine, it fits on a garden trailer, but it's got cheap and fixable. So something like that.